Numerous rivers are within a short flight of Rainbow River Lodge in Alaska, and depending on the season offer a wide variety of angling opportunities, like an exciting mid-August day floating to Gibraltar for silver salmon. But nothing illustrates the intense cycle of life on Alaska's trout rivers more dramatically than the arrival of millions of sockeye salmon, their scarlet costume change, and their eventual spawning and egg drop. This is followed by the arrival of the bears, who feast on the fish with gluttonous abandon as they lay on fat for the hard, cold winter ahead. We returned to Alaska in early September to intercept this egg drop and the monster-sized rainbows it attracts on legendary Moraine Creek. 3 fishing pals have joined us, Dominick and Rich Lirtzman from Colorado, and Steve Jensen from Salt Lake. These guys all know when the game is on. Our plan was to land on Spectacle Lake, headwaters of the drainage, and then float the entire 12 miles of Moraine Creek in a leisurely fashion over a 5-day period, camping on the gravel bars and fishing every run of this most famous of trout waters. Moraine can be crowded during the day with fly-out anglers from various lodges, but late afternoon through early morning, it's just us and the bears. By September, the rainbow trout in Alaska are focused on one thing and one thing only: salmon eggs. Matching the hatch now means using plastic beads painted with various shades of fingernail polish to mimic different species of salmon roe. Our guide, John Streeter, custom produces the beads commercially and is an expert in this style of fishing.
It's basically dead drift nymphing, putting lead up above the egg or the bead, about 18 inches, 20 inches. You peg the bead onto the line, no more than 2 inches up above the hook. Some people allow the bead to slide free, but I like it pegged and solid in that position. So when the fish takes the bead, it's usually moving with the bead upstream, and you're setting the hook across the face, usually hooking them on the outside of the mouth. We've seen some fish with some damage around their mouths, but there's a trade-off there. It's the way they take an egg, they suck it down so deep in their throat that oftentimes you end up hooking a fish too deep on a glow bug or on the bead right down on the hook. So probably doing a little more damage to the fish, but we're not killing many fish. Nice one.
I have to admit, catching fish with deformed mandibles was troubling, and was actually fairly common, as evidenced by this beautiful trout landed by Rich Lirtzman. Sure, scarred is better than dead, and this beauty seems none the worse for wear, but it raises questions on high-use management of such premier fisheries. But if you want to catch big bows on Moraine Creek in the fall, you'll be using an egg. It's actually amazing that in a stream littered with the real thing, a single plastic facsimile drifted past the dark forms of trout swimming with red sockeye proved the most effective.
There we go, we got him.
Not that we could always land these powerful creatures, but when we did, their huge football-shaped size was breathtaking. Also breathtaking were our close encounters of the ursine kind, as every day we would share this amazing fishing resource with grizzly bears weighing upwards of 1,500 pounds.
Yeah. You just got one. And you just got, it's a double! A human bear double. He grabs it and you hook up. Fabulous.
For much of our float, the weather was excellent. But this was Alaska after all, so when rain clouds would appear, Setting up camp quickly became highest priority. There was one period where we chose to just hunker down and wait it out. But through it all, our stalwart guide John kept the cook fires burning. And it wasn't long before hunger pangs and delicious aromas would force us from the tent to sample John's delicious streamside stroganoff. By the second evening, the clouds had cleared and we were back in force.
The rain last night was, woke me up.
Yeah, it was brutal.
The
A
rain-
couple times it got really
that-
hard.
Lurch is laying there in the sleeping bag. He says, "I'm not getting out of bed."
Until something good happens.
But with this group of fishaholics, something good always happens. Someone sees a fish jump, and someone else has to catch it. And even though it's nearly 10 at night, it isn't long before we're back in our waders and hard at it again, under the light of our headlamps and a gorgeous full moon. It finally takes total darkness and a warm fire to put these boys to bed. The next morning dawns bright and sunny, and we prepare for the day. Chef Streeter has been up early, fixing his trademark breakfast quesadillas adorned with the bounty of the salmon themselves. Fitting sustenance to fuel us through incredible Moraine Creek moments that seemed never to end. At times, the angling and adrenaline overload would require a catnap to recharge, but always fully clothed and ready for battle. Then it was back to more great bear encounters and unbelievable trout fishing that simply got better and better the deeper we drifted into Alaska's hallowed wilderness.
19!
Kick him out of there. How about this guy? How big that one?
Johnny boy!
22! He's just a little one. How about this one? Hey, what do we got here?
Oh, we're thinking 26.
Yeah, nice looking trout.
Last words from the chef. Tight lines, good fishing. Maybe I'll see you on the river.
As we row out of Moraine Creek at the end of our amazing trip, guide John Streeter puts it all into perspective.
The reason we're here, the reason a lot of this is here is because of these sockeye return from the ocean every year. Huge numbers in this area in Bristol Bay, and feed the whole ecosystem. They feed the trout, they feed the bears, they feed the alders along the bank. It's the reason that the trout are able to get so big and so many numbers. There's huge numbers of trout that are over 20 inches here. And this is valuable to the whole world, and maintaining this ecosystem, this renewable resource. And the resources they'll take out of the ground aren't renewable. They can harm this system in a great way. It'd be horrible to actually have that come to fruition, and if something did happen with the mine, or to dump some of the pollutants out into the system, say trace elements of any of the heavy metals that would be held in the tailing ponds would really affect the chemosensors of the salmon and make it difficult for them to return to their natal streams and to the places where they are able to spawn and carry on this. It's a concern for all of us. If you're donating to natural resources or donating money to things that you love to do, if you're a fly fisherman, you should research it and maybe contribute to that cause.
Makes you want to come up here that much sooner, that much more often.
Yeah.
If you want to help, visit SaveBristolBay.org